All right, let's dive right in, shall we? We're going deep on a League One match that has some serious consequences.
We're talking relegation battle here.
Oh, yeah. St-Étienne versus Montpellier, two teams really scrapping to stay out of the drop zone. And we've got all the intel, all the stats, all the history to help you figure out who's coming out on top. So think of this as a football mystery.
Yeah.
We're going to give you all the clues.
We're giving you the tools to be the expert, to see beyond the headlines.
Exactly. So, St-Étienne. They've got the home advantage at Stade Geoffroy-Guichard. And they've been, pretty decent there lately. 3 wins out of their last 4 at home.
Yeah, their home form has been a bright spot for sure.
So, on paper, you'd think maybe that makes them the favorites, right?
On paper, yeah, you might think that. But you got to remember, though, their offense has been, well, how do we put this? Anemic.
Yeah, they haven't exactly been lighting up the scoreboard.
They've only scored 10 goals all season.
Wow.
That's the second lowest in the entire league.
Oof. Yeah, that's rough. So maybe we shouldn't expect like a 5-goal thriller here.
Probably not, no. The home crowd can only do so much. At some point, you got to put the ball in the net.
Right, right. But they did win this matchup last time they played. 3-1 back in February of 2022. That's got to count for something, right?
Psychology is a part of the game for sure. But Montpellier, they're in a completely different situation now. They're fighting for their lives.
Yeah, they're in a real dogfight down there at the bottom of the table.
Rock bottom. Only 7 points. One of the worst starts to a season they've ever had. They need this win, and that makes them dangerous.
Absolutely. In the recent win against Brest, snapping that 5-game losing streak shows they're not giving up. But the question is, can they fix that leaky defense?
It's the question. I mean, 31 goals conceded already. That's the worst in all of Europe's top 5 leagues. And get this, they haven't kept a clean sheet in 17 straight games.
Yeah.
17.
17. Wow. So what's the problem there? What's going wrong at the back?
Well, their fullbacks are constantly caught out of position, especially on crosses. They struggle to track runners, and there's a lack of communication. Honestly, it's been a bit of a tactical nightmare for them.
So you think they'll switch things up defensively for this match? Maybe park the bus a little bit?
It's possible. I mean, they have to do something to close down those spaces, right?
Yeah, they can't keep conceding goals at this rate.
Exactly. But a more conservative approach could also play into Saint-Étienne's hands. If Montpellier sits back, it might give Saint-Étienne more space to operate, more time to pick out a pass. It's a real dilemma for their coach.
It's a classic risk-reward scenario, right?
Yeah.
Do you tighten up at the back and potentially stifle your own attack? Or do you go for it and risk getting caught out?
Precisely. And that's what makes this match so interesting. It's a real tactical chess match.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the pieces on the board. For St-Étienne, you got to look at Zuriko Davitashvili. He's their leading scorer, right? 5 out of their 10 league goals. He's clearly the danger man.
Absolutely. He's the one to watch. If Montpellier can neutralize him, they've got a good chance. But shutting him down is easier said than done.
Yeah, the guy knows how to find the back of the net. He seems to have a knack for it.
He does. But it's also interesting, right? 5 out of 10. That really highlights how much they rely on him. It also shows their overall lack of goal scoring.
So, if Montpellier can shut him down, who else steps up for St-Étienne? Do they have a plan B?
That's the million-dollar question. Someone else will need to emerge as a threat, whether it's another attacker stepping up or a midfielder making late runs into the box. Otherwise, it could be a long night for Saint-Etienne.
Maybe someone unexpected will have a breakout game. You never know in football.
Anything is possible. That's why we love this sport.
Okay, let's shift gears to Montpellier. The player to watch here, I think, has to be Wabi Khazri. And what makes this interesting is that he's actually played for St-Étienne before.
Yeah, he's a familiar face at Stade Geoffroy-Guichard. Adds a little extra spice to this match, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. It's like a revenge match, a chance to show his old club what they're missing.
A bit of a Hollywood storyline, eh? Wow. He hasn't had much luck scoring against them in the past, but that one goal he did get against them was in his last away game at their stadium. You gotta wonder if that'll give him some extra motivation.
It's got to. It's got to be in the back of his mind. But you mentioned his past record, and it made me think only 3 of Saint-Étienne's 11 matches have seen both teams score. That's one of the lowest in the league. So are we thinking this is going to be a low-scoring, kind of like grind-it-out type of game?
It's definitely a possibility. Both teams have had their struggles in attack, and the pressure of a relegation battle often leads to more cautious, conservative play. It might come down to one moment of brilliance, a defensive error, a set piece.
Yeah, a set piece. It wouldn't surprise me if this one ended up being like a 1-0, 1-1 type of match.
I wouldn't be surprised either. These matches are often decided by the finest of margins. A single mistake, a moment of magic, that's all it takes.
Okay, so considering everything we've talked about, home advantage, the defensive struggles, the key players, the low-scoring trend, what's your prediction?
Oh man, it's a tough one. It really is. St-Étienne, I think they have a slight edge, just based on their recent home form. But Montpellier's desperation, you can't underestimate that. They might come out flying, especially if they concede first. If I had to put money on it, I'd probably lean towards a narrow Saint-Etienne win, maybe 1-0 or 2-1. But a draw wouldn't shock me either. Not at all.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards a draw as well. This one feels too close to call. But now, it's your turn.
Yes, you, the listener.
You've heard all the intel, all the analysis. Now it's time to make your prediction. Can St-Étienne leverage their home advantage and overcome their offensive struggles? Or will Montpellier's desperation fuel an upset, even with their defensive woes? Don't forget, this is a true relegation six-pointer. It's going to have a big impact on who goes down. Consider all the angles, make your call, and then enjoy the match.
Enjoy the drama.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. See you next time.
See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.